We're playing another pulsating game of Ultimate Fishing Simulator. Not the most exciting game, but it is somewhat fun. I'm using a big rod, 14 footer, a 14-foot rod using size 1 hooks, I think. And we're basically trying to catch some at this lake, but this gonna switch over to our small rod. Help me. Play a little guitar while we're waiting. We got a fish on. We got a fish on. This is the Betty Lake. Betty Lake. Betty Lake is a fishery on the Ultimate Fishing Simulator. I'm not exactly sure where it is located in the U.S. or whatever, but I'm sure there's probably some cars in there with some interesting finds buried on the bottom of the lake. Very interesting about some of the things people find at the bottom of the lakes. Makes you really kind of wonder what you're doing when you're out there swimming. Um, as beautiful as the lakes are, they can be very dangerous. I know for a fact they can be dangerous because me and my old man confidence, or lack of confidence, went out to the lake and went and ended up in a fire ant hill, and they bit me. They bit me good. They bit me so good that I don't think I'm ever going to come back from it, because I had all kinds of bites on my feet, and there's as everybody knows, the healthcare system, especially in the United States, is severely lacking, or it's just too much red tape. I think that's kind of the way they make it. So they make it so hard for you to get care or anything that I figure you just give up, and most people do. And then they just accept it, and then their health goes down the toilet, and nobody cares. And so that's the one thing I've realized about out here in the U.S. is that the healthcare is pretty well just horrible. Um, yeah, it's like non-existent unless you're part of the cognitive machine. Then of course they take care of you. But if you're not a cognitive machine, you might as well just be going, help me, help me. But as men, we don't like to act like that because we have too much pride, and it's hard for us to ask for help. I know all too well because being a veteran in the Marines and being a veteran in the Navy, sure, people are nice to you, but you have to be twice as nice to them to get anything done. So, yeah, it's pretty much it's kind of a nightmare. So I figure I'll play video games until I expire, and they'll find me curled up in a ball with my controller in my hand, saying, "You'll grab this controller from my dead, cold hands." And that's the way I think I like to go out. Playing a video game, and at least not being on the street. Even though we're all so close to being on the street, it's not even funny. So I have a lot of compassion for people who are on the street. Mostly because I've been on the street. And being on the street totally sucks. But now I realize that it's not your fault if you do end up on the street. A lot of times it's not your fault. Because if you're not a cognitive machine, if you got mental disabilities, you know, in my case I had meningitis, so I have a bit of a mental block going in my brain a lot. I hate to admit it, but it is what it is. Lucky I can at least still talk and walk, and chewing gum and walking is a little difficult, but so I kind of just accept things the way they are. And seeing that I had so much success in life as a Marine and as a Navy guy and an electrician, I kind of figure I'm kind of lucky that I made it this far. And I look at some of these people that, you know, they're like famous people, and then they die. Like what's her face just passed away from the Shannon Doherty, and she passed away at 53. I'm 61, and so it just kind of goes to show that none of us are immune to the ills and the struggles in life, because life is can be very stressful. It can be very difficult. It can be very mentally challenging, um, and sometimes it's easy to just want to curl up in a ball. So, uh, with that said, I do. I've been going to church a little bit. Uh, Sundays I've been going to church. I don't know if anybody goes to church, but I found it to be somewhat uplifting. Kind of gets you out of your funk, to be around other people that are, putting their faith in the Lord. I always thought that maybe I could make it just by grit and determination, but that only goes so far. After a while, you just need some help, you know. And a lot of us, it's very hard to ask for help because we're asking the wrong people. It's just the wrong people you're asking for help from. And so, family's important. Um, Family is probably the most important thing you'll ever have because without family, I mean, in this crazy world, I mean, without family, you're in trouble. And it's kind of sad because everybody wants to be happy, everybody wants to enjoy their life, but yet they make life into this big, huge competition and struggle and productivity. And new people, in my opinion, new people come in, younger people come in, and they just they want the same thing that everybody else wanted. The cycle basically just continues to repeat itself over generations. And older people, that's why you see them, they're just kind of reserved. They're trying not to rock the boat because, number one, they don't have the energy. And number two, they know that they're not going to be competitive in a world that's geared towards younger people. I guess a good case in point is being in the service. When you're young, they all want you. They're like, oh yeah, come on. We'll take care of you. We'll give you everything. You'll never have to worry about anything. And I guess it works out for a while. You know, they get you in there, and then they kind of, well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess they kind of brainwash you. I think I was brainwashed in the Marines. I was brainwashed. But the one good thing is it helped me. I stayed out of trouble. I never got in any trouble. Never got locked up any long term. A couple of drunk tank visits, but never got arrested for anything major, and never ended up in jail. Never served prison time. Mostly just tried to find jobs and work and try to survive in this world. But as I get older, I realize that, your self-worth, it's really hard to disassociate yourself from hard work and identification. So you're identifying yourself by what you do and your hard work and blah, blah, blah. Well, I did this and I was all really, I was once a mechanic and I did this. I used to freaking supervise all these people. And now you're sitting in a chair and you're on Quora and you're answering questions that people are asking. Seems just kind of shallow. Doesn't seem like. I guess whatever gives yourself a feeling of satisfaction, fulfillment, whatever. But as I started listening more to my brother's retired from the Air Force. He's also retired from the DEA. been 40 years between the two, almost about 35 years. And he says, oh, I wouldn't do a damn thing. He's, you already did it. Who wants to go back out there and do it all over again? Who wants to go jump into the fire? Oh yeah, here I come. I got both friggin' guns ablazing. I'm ready. Bring it on. Let's do this. You just wake up and you're like, at least I'm alive. And you got people like Skid Row. You think somebody on Skid Row wants to be on Skid Row? You think they said, oh, I think this would be great. I prefer to go down to Skid Row, and I think I'm going to make huge changes. I'm going to make everybody, I'm going to freaking motivate everybody. And they're going to get motivated to do what? Nothing. Because that's not the way the world works. You have to learn something, and then you got to put it to use. A good case in point is when I was going to electrical school. I mean, the paper's sitting right up here on my wall. Does it mean anything now? Not really. 4 years of electrical apprenticeship. Got the whole certification and everything. Got letters from the governor of California. Does it mean anything? Not really. So, identifying yourself through what you do, and then when you're finally relieved of that, whatever you're doing, can leave people in a pit of misery and unfulfillment and regret. But the reality is that I guess if you did the best you possibly could, you did everything in your power to have a good life, to make a good life for yourself. You worked hard, and then something happened. Maybe you got sick, maybe you broke some bones, and you can no longer do those things. But the reality is that inside your heart and your soul, you're still a person. You're still, who you are. So, identifying yourself, just be yourself, I guess, is I've struggled with that too. Sometimes I'm like, who the hell am I? I don't know. Went to the church, and I got this thing called Our Daily Bread. And I started reading a little bit of it, and I guess the whole thing is there's life and there's death. And in between is a sandwich of a bunch of stuff. So you can have a good sandwich or you can have a shit sandwich. Some people end up with a shit sandwich in life. One slice of bread is the beginning of life, the other side is the end. Whatever's in between, a lot of that stuff is not up to you. You can't just choose everything that you want and have everything you want. Sure, I'd like to have everything I want. Right now, I think I have everything I want, but sometimes I feel like, but why isn't there more? More of what? That's what I keep asking myself. And so, I will go to my grave with the controller in my hand, playing Ultimate Fishing, Doom, or any of the old school games that I learned 30 years ago. Otherwise, that's about it. And take lots of naps. Take naps. Take care of your old lady or whatever. Read a book. Eat a piece of chicken. Everybody loves chicken. I love chicken. I would eat chicken for days if they gave me chickens. Matter of fact, I had chickens this morning. But I guess the reality is that sometimes we can't really dictate how our future's going to be. But I will say one thing that I've learned through the years. And that would be, number one, that a lot of guys fall into this freaking pit. Is to be chasing after too many freaking women. Because women, God bless them, you don't want to cross their path. You don't want to freaking get involved with people that you don't freaking know. Because you're better off alone. Because the only thing that attracts you to women and everything else is your freaking brain. And it never really pays off in the end. It's not worth it. It's not worth it in the end. That's what I'm learning. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. We're just trying to catch a couple fish. Got a couple fish. Check our bank account. $1,432. We are fishing with. Got ourselves some worms. Got ourselves some baits. Little feeder baits. And that's it. If you like my channel, you can subscribe. I've got a few videos on it. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this channel up. I guess it all depends on how long I stay with a roof over my head. Hopefully for a while, I don't know. Life's getting very expensive. I do not have a monetized channel, so I have to pay for this whatever in my pocket, but whatever. I've enjoyed having this channel. It's a fun channel. I like showing people some old school games. And I sound like an old fart. Probably because I am an old fart. Alright, thanks for watching. Looks like the fish stopped biting. I think they went deeper water. No, wait. No, they didn't. I'm coming back. We'll do it live! There's another thing I will say. If you're in school, stay in school. Because actually, school really is the only ticket out of hell. I mean, that's just what I've learned. That's what I learned years ago. The only way out of this hell of existence, if you want to call it an existence, why we are here. Nobody really knows why we're here. But the way they got it set up, if you go to school, you learn something, you'll be heads and tails above everybody else. And you probably won't have as much anxiety and depression. Because you'd be too busy learning shit. When I was busy learning, I never had anxiety. Never had depression. But being retired is another animal in itself. You just have to remember, drink a lot of water. Stay out of lakes with the fire ants. Stay out of lakes that have the flesh-eating bacteria. Don't swim in poopy pools with little kids that are pooping everywhere. And wash your hands before you do anything. If you're gonna hit a jewel, hit a jewel. But don't smoke cigarettes. Oh hell, you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of free will. Okay, I think we're done with the fishing for now. I'm probably gonna fish another little bit more, but thanks for watching my video. I don't want to make it too long. And be nice to people, because you don't know what kind of hell they're going through. Thanks for watching.